Hello friends, this video on wave optics part 13 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 12 before going ahead with part 13. Now let us look at the coherent and incoherent addition of waves. So how do we add waves coming from coherent and incoherent sources? So what we will do it now, in the last 3 slides, what we did, we took some specific values. We took a scenario where path difference is 0. We took another scenario where path difference is 2 lambda. We took yet another scenario where path difference is minus 2.5 lambda. So now we will generalize things. Let us say that we have two waves. The first wave is given by y1 is equal to a cos omega t, and the second wave is given by a cos omega t plus phi, where phi is some phase difference between the two waves, right? And let us suppose that the individual intensity of each of them is I naught. Okay, so the individual intensity of each of them is I naught, which is proportional to a square, right? That is the square of the amplitude. So what would be the resultant displacement? It would be nothing but vector addition of y1 and y2. So this comes out to be a cos omega t plus a cos omega t plus phi. So this can be simplified using cos A plus cos B. What is the formula? Cos A plus cos B, it is 2 cos A plus B by 2 cos A minus B by 2. You must have studied all these things in your trigonometry. So therefore this equation will become 2A cos phi by 2 cos omega t plus phi by 2. So this is my resultant displacement. So looking at this, we can say that which is the amplitude? Amplitude is this part, because normally it is in the form of a cos omega t. So the cosine part is this one. So the remaining part has to be amplitude. So this is my amplitude part. So what would be the intensity? Intensity is directly proportional to amplitude square. So we can say intensity is directly proportional to 4a square cos square phi by 2. So we can say that I is equal to, what is a square? A square is nothing but I naught. So we can say 4 I naught cos square phi by 2. So if the two waves have any phase difference phi, so we can apply this for coherent as well as incoherent waves, because in incoherent waves also, if we know the phase difference between the two waves, we can calculate the resultant intensity at some point, right? So I hope you understood how constructive destructive overlap takes place, and under what condition constructive overlap happens and under what condition destructive overlap happens, because these are the basis of Young's double slit experiment. If you understand all this, then it will be easier for you to understand the Young's double slit experiment. So let us quickly summarize whatever we have studied so far. We will summarize it here. So when we talk about constructive overlap, so constructive overlap takes place when path difference is n lambda and the phase difference, that is phi, is 0 plus minus 2 pi plus minus 4 pi and so on, because these are the phases corresponding to path difference n lambda. Whereas destructive interference takes place when path difference is equal to n plus 1 by 2 lambda, and the phi or the phase corresponding to this is plus minus pi, plus minus 3 pi, plus minus 5 pi and so on. So these are the conditions under which constructive and destructive overlap takes place. Now after this, it is good to start to the phenomenon of interference. The phenomenon of interference was explained by. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.